place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stay not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
What's going on, guys? It's your host, your boy, George Mackay, and man, oh man, do I got a special one. I got somebody who I consider to be a living legend, a staple in women's wrestling, someone I'm a huge fan of, and we also share the same home base because we're both from Canada, so that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Please help me welcome none other than the amazing, the incredible Gail Kim to Straight Talk Wrestling. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and I love that you're a fellow Canadian.
That's right. Canada represent. Well, you know, Gail, it's a misconception. Canada doesn't get enough exposure in the wrestling world. There are a lot of big names. There are a lot of names that paved the way for sure. But I feel like there needs to be more eyes here north of the border to scout all the talent that we have here, both male and female. Would you not agree? Yeah,
I mean, actually, that is a very good point to make because, you know, when I started out, of course, there was all those people that paved the way for us, the Bret Harts, the Trish Stratuses, Christian Cage, Edge, all these people. You know, I went to the same training school as Edge, Christian, Trish Stratus. So it was, we had to venture out and really get, you know, into the United States and able to be looked at. So that is a really good point. I would love to, you know, we have a lot of eyeballs on there. I mean, Lance Storm now works for us and he's a producer with us and he used to have a wrestling school. So I used to say to him, I said, you must be a really good trainer because his percentage of success in terms of his students that came out of there was incredible. And unfortunately, and fortunately for us, I guess he closed down the school because he started producing, which is a benefit to us. But it was always like, we knew, okay, let's look at Lance's school. And we knew that there was going to be some great talent coming out of there. So yeah, I would agree. Maybe we need to work on that. But Scott D'Amore, who does run Impact Wrestling, is from Canada. So I will say, he has brought a lot of talent out of Canada. So he has those eyeballs out there for us. And Josh Alexander, who's our main event guy and our champion right now, that's a perfect example. He gave Josh Alexander that opportunity and he's taken that ball and ran with it.
Absolutely. Him, Aiden Prince, as well, has gotten a lot of appearances on there. And Speedball Mike Bailey. I mean, that was a steal for you guys. I was at both events when they were signed at Destiny Wrestling in Mississauga, and it was incredible to see the talent get paid off, both Josh and Speedball. So yeah, you guys
love them both. Love
absolutely
them both.
Fantastic. But let's talk about that big announcement you made on May 12th. Impact Wrestling, you announced again another, I guess, groundbreaking moment for women's wrestling and Impact. The Knockouts division has been a staple for years, which, as I mentioned in the intro, you were a cornerstone. You were the foundation of women's revolution way before all the other companies followed suit.
Well, I definitely, you know, it's a team effort, 100%. It's those people that give you those opportunities and give you that ball to run with, you know, the Jeff Jarrett's, the Scott D'Amore's, Dixie Carter's back then, you know, all those people who gave us those opportunities. You know, I had little opportunity before that, but you know, fighting for it for so long, the satisfaction you get when you actually achieve that was just a different kind of personal gratification. And I'm always grateful for that. And they've never stopped with the women's division. And like you said, it was a cornerstone of TNA and Impact to this day, 20 years later. Well, we started the women's division really in 2007, but to say that they've consistently gone with this women's division, never had any type of lull, because there is a lot of roller coasters and ups and downs in wrestling in general, but they've always been consistent with that in the X division. You know, those are the two cornerstones, I would say, that are part of the company that stick out to me in the last 20 years that really separated us from the bunch. And so, you know, people always thought they're going away. We're still here, baby, you know, 20 years later.
Absolutely, 20 years for sure. But now the Queen of the Mountain match, you made that announcement on May 12th, and you said, boom, this is going to happen. Tasha Steelz is going to put her title on the line against Chelsea Green, against Jordan Grace, against Mia Yim, and against, now I'm
Deanna Purrazzo.
Deanna Purrazzo, how could I forget her? Oh my God.
It's okay. I was saying the matches today and I'd forget because there's 5 of them, right? And there are other former knockout champions. But when you say that out loud, every time someone says the match, I get goosebumps, to be honest, because it's such incredible talent in that ring. I really don't know who's going to walk away with it. It's a match that they've never experienced before. But I already told them, I go, you guys are going to steal a show. I already told Josh Alexander, the girls are, going to steal the show. And so we're like, who's going to steal the show? The main event? Who knows? It could be the ultimate exit. But I believe in the girls. I put the pressure on them already, always trying to raise the bar, and they always do. And I truly believe in it.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm a girl dad. Okay. I have 2 beautiful daughters, a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old. My 13-year-old is also my co-host. We call her the mini host here at Straight Talk Wrestling. But my wife is also a big wrestling fan, and we've been a staple of Impact for a long time. Like, we've been fans probably since the get-go. Might have fallen off a little bit in the early 2012, 2013, but like you said, still here. And fans like us, we've kept Impact alive because we believe in the product so much. But when I see these matches and I show my kids, especially my 6-year-old, who has all kinds of aggression, she's going to be a future wrestler. I can see it in her.
Yes.
But whenever I show her, she's like, that's so cool, Dad. And I showed her some of the old ones, and she's like, these guys are okay, but I want to see the girls tear it up.
Yeah.
When you see that, like when you hear a story like that of a young fan who's looking at this division as something so special, which it rightfully deserves to be, and these ladies are putting the time in, much like you guys did in the beginning, getting those opportunities, you know that these 5 ladies, they know what pressure feels like. But
yes,
Slammiversary, the biggest pay-per-view of Impact every year, it's something special. And these ladies are going to go out and they're going to steal the show. Being a producer now, seeing what you kind of helped develop with those opportunities to where it is now, how amazing, like what's going through your head when you see the groundbreaking moves that the knockout division has made?
It's just amazing that, there's so many things coming to my brain right now when you said all that. It's just like all the women that reach out that are not part of our division, that want to be part of our division because we've done such a great job with it consistently. They see that every woman has a role within our company. If you're a part of Impact Wrestling, you're going to have a role on that show. You're a valued talent, and you have so many talented ladies to work with as well. It's not, just a couple of girls. It's a deep roster. It's almost 20 girls. And to know that these girls that I work with now, they tell me, we watched the knockouts. We wanted to be in knockout. You inspired us, and now they're inspiring the next generation. It's incredible to see. And that's why it's growing so much. There's so much more talent to pick from. There's so many girls out there thinking, wow, I can be a wrestler. Like before, it was kind of like when I was watching all those girls, I was like, oh, maybe I have a chance. There's no Asian girl there. I was trying to find that little hole. Now you can be anything and become a professional wrestler if you put in the work and you're dedicated and passionate about it. So it's incredible to see each generation grow and inspire the next. And I love that. I love that we're just getting better and better.
Absolutely. You 100% are. Now I want to switch from Impact real quick to NWA. You worked with them, being one of the producers for that amazing pay-per-view where it was paying respect to the past, to the history, honoring the present, but acknowledging the future. Yes. Some of those names that you got out, you guys put me on to those talents, like Tootsie, like Bianca Crowley, who I'm very good, but to see her get her spot there as well. Also the different diversities, bringing in some members of the LGBT community and stuff like that. That's great to see. And to see you, Jazz, and Mickey standing at the forefront when it was all
Medusa.
And Medusa, yes, my apologies. And Medusa standing at the forefront when it was all done. And looking at that and being like, you know what? Women's wrestling can hold its own. Women's wrestling can be a full card, and women's wrestling can tear the house down and pack a house.
Yeah.
That's got to be great, because you guys were never, when you back in the day, in certain companies, you were told women get 2-3 minutes max. And to see a whole pay-per-view, that's amazing.
It was incredible. And I've experienced all those lows, and the fighting and a nonstop battle of trying to prove yourself and know, that we can draw, just like you're saying. We did that pay-per-view. It did incredibly well. I was so honored to be a part of that. And I'm so honored that Mickey, who I completely, highly love and respect so much, that she asked me to be a part of that. And, not only that, the women from other companies were tweeting that night, supporting us, watching it as well, because they know they're part of this too, whether they're directly involved or indirectly involved. To have such a successful night, it was just magical. And then to go on, and then we did Knockouts Knockdown after that as well, because we hadn't had it for years, and that turned out great as well. I mean, just every little step we're making is just incredible. And I never thought, you know, in those low moments that it would be this great, you know, and it's just getting better. It's just getting better.
Absolutely. Now, I got to be honest with you. When you made that announcement on May 12th, there was a little stare down between you and Tasha in the ring. And I
Yes.
looked, and it was intense. It was intense. And I
Yes,
looked over at my
that
wife and
attitude, that girl's got some attitude.
well, she's also got that giant muscle behind her too, which makes things a little
Yes.
challenging.
Yes.
I hope her muscle doesn't get involved in that, you know, Queen of the Mountain match. I hope she stays in the back. I really do. But she might.
We actually did announce today. I don't know if it's been officially announced, but I know Mickey has done the rounds for the media, and she has been announced as, I don't know if officially from Impact yet, but she has announced she is going to be a special enforcer in that match. So we're not going to have any playing around with that. Just for those reasons, exactly like that.
That's perfect.
And yeah, you know, Tasha's just got to know that even though I'm retired, I'm not going to back down from her attitude.
100%.
I've got attitude myself.
Well, you're Canadian. Listen, Canadian women, they're strong, they're powerful, and they're tough. They don't take crap.
Exactly.
We know this. We know this.
Yes.
But that stare down, I looked at my wife and I said, man, I wouldn't mind Gail donning the boots again one more time coming back. Do you still have the itch? It's an itch that never goes away. We all know this.
It really does. And it comes in waves, because I obviously am around it all the time. And when you feel that adrenaline, because you hear the crowd or the girls are performing, of course you're going to miss it. I am a very physical being, and I haven't, but I mean, my injuries are a reminder of why I stepped away. And there's a couple of things that always run through my mind when that gets brought up. You know, first off, I always think I've had my time. This is the other girl's time to shine. Never want to take that away. And I know it could be just a special occasion, and, you know, never say never, but my injuries, even though I appear normal day to day, it's because I work very hard every day to have my normal day to day. I had a complete satisfying closure match wise for the end of my career. And not many wrestlers get to say that. So I would be taking a huge risk in ruining that in my mind, because I'm such a perfectionist. So it would take a lot for me to do that, because there's so many factors involved there. But I appreciate that I want people to think that I still got it right. And I would, if I did come out of retirement, I would bust my butt just like I did in my last match, because I hadn't wrestled for 15 months up to that point. I really trained so hard for that, because like I said, I care about what the fans see and what they remember of me. So yeah,
absolutely.
Never say never, but it's more of a no.
Absolutely. But I still remember you with absolute fondness. And again, repping the North. I always cheer for people from the North. I didn't care. Heel, face, didn't matter. If you were from the North, you had me as a fan, guaranteed.
Well, who you cheering for in that main event? Josh Alexander and Eric Young.
Well, that's hard. This has never happened to me before. I never get a question flipped on me. Well, I love Eric Young. I appreciate Eric Young. He's an amazing talent. But as the shirt clearly states, I am a Josh Alexander fan.
Yes, I didn't see the shirt till now.
No
That's
problem.
Amazing.
Yeah, Josh.
Listen, I'm
Josh
so happy for Josh.
Yeah.
I admire so many things about certain workers, their work ethic. And, you know, Christy Hemme had just called him to him. She goes, "You're like the male Gail Kim." And we laughed so hard. And I said, actually, yeah, there's a lot of similarities, you know, being Canadian, both feeling like our strengths were in the ring, and that's how we would connect with the audience. And, you know, just having that wanting, that grind, and that need to be the best. And I feel that from Josh, and I can only respect that so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, Josh and I are really good friends. I've known him for years, and to see his journey and see him getting that spotlight and impact, finally being at the mountaintop, I love it. My final question, I'm going to let you go for the evening. I mean, you're a producer, so you might be a little bit biased, but who are you pulling for? I gotta ask you.
Oh, I like I said, I really don't know who's going to win this match because they're all great. They're all great champions. They're all great competitors right now at this moment. It's a match that they've all never experienced before. So it's an even playing ground at this point because there's penalty boxes. It's literally a reverse ladder match. And I'm trying to think of any of them. I know Mia Yim's had a ladder match in the past in NXT, I believe, but you know, in terms of all those moving parts, it's an even playing ground there. And I don't know who's the hungriest, who's going to work the hardest leading up to that match. That's always the way I thought about stuff. Who had the most preparation? Because I know I put in a lot of preparation. So that's really who's the hungriest and who's willing to sacrifice, really.
I love that. I think it's a good way to answer the question. And I always ask a joke question at the end of every episode because I like to eat question. Yeah. I have a debate in my house, actually just happened right before I got on with you. My wife and I were ordering dinner, we're ordering pizza. And my daughter and I, my oldest daughter, we're very big fans of pineapple on pizza. I consider the Hawaiian pizza. Well, hold on now. Can I just can I plead my case for a second?
Okay. Yes.
I consider the pineapple pizza to be all 4 food groups. You have your bread, your dairy, your meat, and your fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
I'm wrong. I can tell I'm wrong. Okay.
Listen, everybody's palate is different. This is the way I look at it. My husband's a chef. He has a very different palate as me. And, you know, I truly believe your palate kind of comes from how you were raised. And then if you're adventurous in terms of the type of personality you are, my husband's a chef, but I'm way more adventurous when it comes to food. I will try way more things. Now I have a dairy allergy. So people think I'm a weirdo with pizza because I can't have cheese. And I don't like the taste of cheese either because I've taken it out of my diet. So I have cheeseless pizza and people think I'm a weirdo. And I was like, I love it. I love the dough. I love the sauce and I love all my toppings. So, you know, to each their own.
Each their own. Fair enough. Yeah. Gail Kim didn't agree. She didn't disagree. And that's the best way to leave this conversation, I believe. Gail, before you go, again, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to sit down with you with this time, to sit down with a legend such as yourself. I am honored. Guys, you already know where she is. You can find her on all the socials. For me,
and Slammiversary, June 19th. Fallout from Slammiversary is the next day as well if you're in the Nashville area on June 20th. So at the Asylum Fairgrounds, very historical connection for us. We actually did the last show before they tore down the old Asylum, and now this is the new one. So it's only fitting that we come back home.
Absolutely. I can't wait for it. I've already got my pre-order in for the pay-per-view because I can't take it out to Nashville, but I've already got my pre-order ready. I got my popcorn ready. I gotta have my pizza pre-ordered with pineapple.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Gail Kim. I appreciate you guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great.